Well, it's glamorous, it's lovely, it's sunny, but unfortunately it's virtual. Hello, welcome to the Monaco Grand Prix. We're here in Monte Carlo. What an absolute race we are going to have. Trust me, Monaco has had so many great moments in its past. Could we be seeing another one? Once again, I am joined with my absolutely esteemed host, my lovely Dutch friend, Matt. Matt, thank you very much for joining me once again.
I'm so excited for this race because although Monaco often is one of the more dull affairs, there's going to be crashes because it's in the sim world. There's going to be carbon fibre galore flying everywhere. But also, you know me, Ben, there's history. Where there's history, I thrive. Monaco is often referred to as a millionaire's playground. It's one of only 3 constitutional monarchy states that are actually city-states, the other 2 being Singapore and the Vatican City. And the first ever Monaco Grand Prix was held in 1929. Do you know the winner?
Ooh. Well, can I say Fangio?
No, that was in the 50s.
Oh, no.
He would have been a wee baby.
He would have been a wee
So in 1929, the race was won by William Grover Williams. His parents clearly doing no favours that if he didn't have his middle name Grover in there, his name is actually William Williams.
I guarantee he would have been bullied at school, let's face it.
Absolutely. So the circuit raced in 1929 is not too dissimilar to what we'll be racing on today. In fact, it would probably be pretty much the same if it wasn't for Sir Jackie Stewart's safety campaign in the late 60s and early 70s, which saw the introduction of Armco barriers and the repurposing of the Novelle chicane. It used to be a quick left-hander with a massive brick plant pot thing, and it you could actually land in the harbour if you overdid that. And in fact, Ascari was landed in the harbour, got himself out. 3 days later, died in a race at Monza.
I believe that's actually portrayed by the film, I think it's called The Grand Prix?
It's just called Grand Prix, yeah.
Grand Prix, yeah.
Let's talk about an unlucky week there. Now, the Novelle chicane was repurposed, and then they had the introduction of the swimming pool, and La Rascasse was opened up a bit just to allow for greater commitment, but that was in the late 90s when the cars started to get really fast, aerodynamic and everything. And Nelson Piquet, I found a funny quote from him, he described Monaco as riding a bike around your living room. Because the track only measures 2.07 miles, clearly Nelson Piquet has a bigger living room than I.
I think he probably means by probably the width, maybe?
The width, yeah, exactly.
I mean, the width of it is just non-existent.
Exactly.
You're basically going wall to wall with your tyres.
Exactly, and it's a complete different kind of race than what we had last week at China. China being 20 metres wide, this actually being 13 metres at its widest on the pit straight, which is, as I'm sure you could all guess, the narrowest, tightest track on the calendar this is. There are too many legendary moments to really go into. This is only one of 4 tracks that is still raced today from the original 1950 season, the others being Spa, Monza and Silverstone. Graham Hill, Mr. Monaco, he won 5 when it was still possible for you to end up in the harbour. And he's the only man to complete the Triple Crown, which I'll go into a bit later, because I've got Matt's history lesson coming up, as well as corner names with Matt.
Oh yeah, corner names with Matt. I mean, let's face it, Matt loves... I mean, I would like to say you hate Monaco as a Grand Prix in the season, because you say that there's not enough overtaking. I think the only time it was actually interesting was obviously in 2019 when...
Yeah, and also the Ricciardo in 2018. That was through circumstances where the car in front was at a huge disadvantage, and that actually made the race quite entertaining. Just to quickly wrap up my section, Ayrton Senna properly arrived on the F1 scene in the 1984 Monaco Grand Prix, which was shortened through rain. He finished second in a car which was called a Tolman. He continued, if the race was allowed to go on for 2 more laps, Senna would have actually won, and he went on to win 6 Monaco Grand Prix, 5 of them between 1989 and 93. That helps McLaren become the most successful constructor around Monaco with 15 wins. There's a McLaren on show today who told us last week this is his favourite circuit, so I'm pretty sure we should fancy him today.
I do actually remember one of those pole positions from Ayrton Senna. Is there a rumour that he pretty much did it one-handed? But obviously back then, you didn't have the flat gearbox. It was all done by stick shift. And to the fact that it was probably what is Ayrton Senna, and you just see that literally, just that drive around Monaco. Done, does it?
Cerrone sets to 1 minute 9.4, which is already under the 90-second mark. So I can only imagine what pole time's going to be. That's a bit insane.
I mean, it can only get better. I mean, Cerrone is. I mean, don't get me wrong. Cerrone is probably one of the greatest. As Sharky makes a massive return.
Oh, it's great to see Sharky.
It is great to see Sharky back, pulling it off in a potential pole position of a 1 minute 9.405. Very good. Very good.
We're seeing quite a lot of just below these guys. What I would like to call banker laps.
Wasabi! Your fellow Dutchman. Your fellow Dutchman has got a 1 minute 9.273, and we still haven't even got through your history lesson.
I know, right? So I have a section which I wanted to.
I mean, you got well carried over, didn't you? Look at your research.
I decided to come up with a section called the Did You Know section.
Did you know? Go on.
So I mentioned it earlier. Monaco is part of the Triple Crown of motorsport. The other two races in the Triple Crown are the Indy 500 and the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Each of those races is kind of aimed towards a different part of your racecraft. So Monaco is precision, accuracy, concentration. It's not high speed. Then you go to the Indy 500, pole time. So not pole time, it's done pole speed. You qualify in how fast you go in the Indy 500. The pole speed this year by Marcel Andretti or someone like that, it's 231 miles an hour. No wonder Romain Grosjean has opted out of that race this year after what he went through. Obviously, the last thing you want is to be hitting a concrete wall at the end of one of those straights.
Can't imagine.
Then Le Mans is the obvious one. It's the endurance race. It's the 24 hours. You're doing 3-hour stints in the car. The only man to win that is, as mentioned before, Graham Hill. Fernando Alonso has won Le Mans and Monaco. Juan Pablo Montoya has won Indy and Monaco. But the other part of the Triple Crown has evaded them. So there's my first of 3 Did You Knows. We can come back to some later. As I believe Maurice Pace is on an outlap, and let's ride on board with him because he's been rather impressive since he came in 2 races ago.
He has actually, and he is. Obviously, you'll be having Dutch blood in you. Me, I'll be having my British blood in me, going with Maurice Pace on the outlap. As Boris has pulled off a 1 minute 8.698. That
he's living up to he warned us last week.
Wow.
The boy straight up warned us last week that this was his favourite track. Come to be expected that he's going to dominate, but I cannot believe that. That is a full 6, nearly 7 tenths faster than anyone. I mean, where are you going to find that? So what I'm going to do, just for anyone who's not seen the Monaco Grand Prix, we're going to go through corner names with Matt. So start on the start, finish straight. The first corner is Saint-Devote. No heroics into Saint-Devote, please, is what the engineers will be saying before the race for each of these drivers. You then go up Beau Rivage, with this long twisty section here, before you go into Massenet, and then Casino Square here. You've got the first of 2 Mirabeaus coming up, and so just avoid the bump in the road there. You throw it in right, and then you go to the Monaco hairpin, the Lowe's hairpin. It's had many different names. We will get into that. And then this is the second Mirabeau, called Mirabeau Basse, before you go into Poitiers. And then through the tunnel, which is the easiest one to, well, other than Casino, this is the easiest one to know why it's called the corner name. What?
Tunnel. I was about to say, why is it called tunnel?
We'll get into that. We've got the No Mercy up there. And then you come up to Bac. And then the first part of this section is Louis Chiron, and then you go through the Le Piscine, which is the swimming pool section, into La Rascasse, which is the penultimate corner here, which is the right-hander, before Anthony Knows, which is the last corner. It's got a little switchback here on exit, which you can run your tyres up, and then you want to hope reasonably close to the wall for the fastest track to the line. It's a solid lap there.
A 1 minute 10.127 from the Alfa Romeo driver right there. Nice pace. Going to come up with Masabi. He is out on his outlap. See what he can do. I will say this though. There's so many great moments when it comes to obviously Monaco, like you obviously said. But I think the one thing for anyone of recent history that loves about Monaco is obviously our dear friend Kimi Räikkönen. I mean, he didn't do particularly well in that race, but we'll always remember him for what he did afterwards.
Exactly.
Do you know what he did?
I believe he just waltzed up to a friend in the harbour in one of the nice yachts and just decided, I'm going to crack the beers open early.
Pretty much. It was a safety car. I think it was I can't remember what lap it was, but you had to do a long way to go, and yet he's still like, no, sorry, I'm going to go get myself a beer.
Exactly.
And he stood there, literally on one of the yachts, literally disrobe, top off, James on, having a beer. Literally, that is just pure Kimi Raikkonen.
Look, a number of F1 drivers call Monaco their home. It's a tax haven. So many X1s as well. Paul Di Resta of Sky lives there. It is pretty much most of these drivers' home race, theoretically. It's just a short trip. I know Max Verstappen stays in his own flat instead of one of the drivers' hotels when he races here, and he goes out in his own boat, and it is pretty much like a leisurely race here. As Sabi did improve and he wiped 2/10, but
he's actually gone. Oh, literally, before we obviously he put that up, Sharky actually made a 1:09.45, right, which obviously put him in second, and then Sabi obviously goes around and knocks him off anyway.
Yeah, these three here have been very good qualifiers. Just before Borish goes for a second run, let's have a look at how they got their names. So, Sandoval, the first is named after the church which is located behind the barriers on the outside of the first turn, and it's named after Saint Devote, a 4th century martyr. He's the patron saint of Monaco. He's their St. George.
Ooh.
So,
okay.
There's something you didn't know. Beau Rivage literally translates to beautiful coastline, which is the long uphill. Not like you get much time to admire it when you're in the car because of the Armco barrier. But that's what that means. Then you've got Massenet. That's named after Jules Massenet, who was an opera composer. The opera house is just to the left-hand side of the barriers, and he actually has a statue just outside. Casino Square, self-explanatory. There's a big casino. But did you actually know, Ben, local Monegasque are not allowed to gamble there, only international high rollers.
Really?
Yeah, so if you are a Monegasque like Charles Leclerc, you wouldn't be allowed to gamble there, as that looked like a Renault was in the wall. But I think
looked like a Renault. I
think
it may have been in the wall, but bollocks because no one's out. Well, it's either way. Even if I'm counting myself as an international, I don't think I'll ever go to the casino for a very long time. And trust me, I don't think I'm being trusted with that now. But anyway,
I don't think I'd even make a small blind, honestly. So Mirabeau is named after a hotel. Certainly seen a lot of action. Very recently, you had in 2014, I believe it was Nico Rosberg. Did he feign a lockup to guarantee pole? Didn't he? It's one of these open-ended. Who knows? Let's just see what Borish can do here.
I mean, well, he's just on the outlap. He just did the outlap, so he's
shaved a little bit.
He's shaved a tiny bit off, but absolutely still fantastic.
I really don't know how you improve on that.
I just don't. Seriously, 1:08.675. That is fantastic. Literally, almost half a second faster than Basabi, his rival.
Exactly. He is. He warned us. I don't think we should be surprised here that Borish is going to get pole and maybe sprint off into the distance unless he gets caught out by a safety car. The hairpin is just 49 kilometres an hour. It is one of the iconic corners in Formula One. It was originally named after a station that was located near. Couldn't find the name of the station, but when people refer to it as the Lowe's hairpin, there was a hotel called the Lowe's Hotel. Very simple.
When it comes to well, I know obviously Monaco's not France. I think the only closest train station I know for
there's Nice.
Well, no, there's Nice, but the thing is, I don't know the ones that I believe the nearest one I can find is probably, well, to me, would be the Gare de Lyon.
Okay, fair enough.
Which is Paris, which is completely in another country and so far away from the circuit. Oh yeah, that is a massive track, but it doesn't matter anyway. That's a bit of acknowledgement. Sabi does improve on his time, a 1:09.023.
He's on his fast lap at the moment.
Unless
he hasn't improved, he's on his fast lap at the moment.
I swear he did improve.
No, I'm pretty sure he's on his fast lap at the moment. Portier. Now, although this is located near the port, the name has nothing to do with it. It is actually the name of the Catholic order, the Order of Portier. So as you can tell, Monaco, quite a strict Catholic country, so there is a lot of religious symbolism about the place. Then you've got the swimming pool. So the original Monaco layout, after Tabac, which is named after a tobacconist, which I'm pretty sure you will work that one out, it used to go straight on at Tabac, and the swimming pool was added by the local government, and then the guys at F1 back in the day used it as a chicane just to slow speeds down. Look, oh, that's interesting.
Very interesting. Sabi putting a 1 minute 8.25. He's actually pulled that gap down very quickly down to Boris. Though I think that'll more likely be the only time he'll have a chance here, unless he won't be able to pit that quickly, will he?
Don't think so. No, it would be by the time you hit speed limit.
That'll be so. As it stands,
that's a really good lap.
It's a very good lap. Don't get me wrong. Don't take away from Sabi. But at the end of the day, I mean that if he wanted to have another go, I don't think he'll have enough time. So I think I'd say I would have to well, I'm quite comfortably saying that the front two at the moment is pretty much locked out at the moment.
It certainly looks it. I just can't believe that Boris is that far off. See you later, Basavi. Just shoots on.
I think he actually might try and want to go for it.
Fair enough.
Does he want to do it? I mean, he is ragging it.
Yeah. I think he fancies this, you know. I think he fancies one more. Anyway, La Rascasse we're coming up to here. It's the site of where Michael Schumacher famously feigned a lockup and stopped in quali in 2006 to try and nick pole off Fernando Alonso. It was the name of an old fisherman's bar, and today La Rascasse is actually an upmarket restaurant. Dread to think the prices you're paying to get into the La Rascasse restaurant. And then the final corner, Anthony Nodes, is a memorial to the man who came up with the Monaco Grand Prix, Anthony Nodes. So, some more information there. As I said, we're all going to learn something today, and I'm going to pass on a couple more funny stories. So, 2004, this is hilarious, by the way. To promote the star-studded film Ocean's 12 in 2004, the Jaguar team, these days that's Red Bull, ran a special livery at the Monaco Grand Prix with precious diamonds attached to the nose cones of the car. On lap 1, the Jaguar driver Christian Klein hit the barriers and retired from the race, and that was at Mirabeau, so the team have to get the cars after the race. And when they got there, the £300,000 stone was nowhere to be seen. Now, you can look into it all you want. Why are they driving with diamonds in the most dangerous track on the calendar? But I reckon some plucky stewards got away with one there.
I think I do remember actually me hearing it. Because it was literally right in the middle.
Yeah.
And it was like a big circle, was like highlighting it, and next thing, it was gone.
No one knows. No one knows where it's gone.
And also, I believe, if I remember correctly, I remember when I think Red Bull also tried to, literally try and promote Star Wars.
They did. In 2005, which was Red Bull's first year after buying Jaguar, they did Star Wars, and they had their pit crew dressed as like stormtroopers and Darth Vader.
But if I remember correctly, I don't think the Force was like that.
However, the next year, when they promoted Superman Returns, didn't see David Coulthard nicked an unlikely podium. So, Red Bull, or the Jaguar team, because they are the same team, clearly had a bit of a history in the early 2000s as using Monaco as an opportunity to get a little bit more income, promote a movie. The movie stars all faking interest in F1 for this race. Let's face it, you always see them. You always see them.
Well, I was thinking, Wasabi, unless this is another glitch, because we've had these a couple of times, Wasabi is actually...
well, we'll see if this is a glitch. But...
We'll see. We'll see what this is. Well, I wanted to leave this as a surprise for you, but at the start of this race, ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be a very wet race. Now that is going to literally...
That could shake things up.
That could shake things up, especially going into Saint-Travon.
Exactly. Boris does a 1:08.4. Fair enough. Alright.
Okay.
He's done. This is done.
Right. No, Wasabi is going for it now.
I mean, can you find out? This would be incredible.
If Wasabi does this, I mean, then I will simply, when after lockdown, I will fly to Holland, the Netherlands, as you guys like to call it. I will go over there, personally shake his hand and buy him a beer.
I'll probably do that with you as well, to be honest. There's a big lock up there. He's clearly pushing so hard here. He wants it. We're going to see if he's going to get it. Now, you mentioned the rain. Monaco actually, not surprisingly, holds the record for least amount of finishes. In 1966, 4 cars finished from the 16 that started. And in 1996, only 3 crossed the line, but 7 were classified. It was won by Olivier Panis, who was the last French driver to win a race until Gasly this year. So, it is a race of attrition, as I go full Jonathan Ross there. And if it's going to rain, this could be very interesting. What can Wasabi do here?
Wasabi 1 minute 8. Oh, he improved, but did not enough. So there it is. The front 2 is
FIFA jumped all
My FIFA, where have you come all of a sudden? The 2 Red Bulls are going to be crowding around the McLaren.
Well, nice.
No, it is AlphaTauri. Sorry, my apologies. Sorry, I must be colourblind. I must be.
Wow,
That is absolutely incredible. Shiromi in 5th though as well, and Torn in 6th.
Okay.
Very good.
Well, he had a really good race, I thought, around China, and I think he only dropped off the podium due to a penalty, right?
I believe it was just by a penalty.
Yeah, so he clearly shown what he can do, but at the moment, over 3.5 tenths of a second for Borish. I'm in awe of this man. That's a ridiculous lap time.
I think the slowest time, think about it, I mean, that's 1 minute 8.
Yeah.
So the average area is a 1 minute 9, 1 minute 10, early 1 minute 10. And he goes and does a 1 minute 8.444.
And this is in equal performance cars as well.
This is equal performance. He must be running that thing ragged.
Well, all I can say is I did say I was looking forward to watching him drive around here when I spoke to him. He's living up to the hype that I got myself so hyped up in my head because of what he'd said last week. There was absolutely no way I expected that level of dominance in qualifying. The race could be difficult because it's raining. It looks quite light there. It could just be an intermediate start. It's hard to look past the Borish win, but the start is everything around Monaco. Everything can go wrong, and everything has gone wrong for a lot of big drivers around Monaco. Anyone has won around here, and Jarno Trulli. Sorry, Jarno, if you're watching. You're not watching, but
Hey, you never know.
It was his only race win. Fair enough. Well, if he is a fan, then I will take my hat off to him, but I've just insulted him greatly.
Oh, I'm sure he can take a bit of banter.
The man who could do anything in qualifying and nothing in the race.
Mr. Saturday.
Mr. Saturday, indeed. Well, hopefully we all learned something in that qualifying session with Matt's history, Matt's corner names. The only thing I'm going to say as we watch this build-up lap is this is sim racing and it's anyone's game.
It is everyone's game, but the thing is, obviously, they've got to, by the looks of things, it's not wet enough to obviously go on to the intermediates or the wet. And I can only imagine, I don't know, could the weather be getting harder? Or could it literally just come to a stop and then the glorious sunny French Riviera come into play?
Is there a way we can check and see who else is starting on what?
Yes, we can.
I want to see if someone's taken a gamble here and gone on to the intermediates.
No, every single one of them is soft. Everyone,
Morris Payson's on the medium, so he's going for the long strategy there, maybe hoping for a safety car.
But 10 from the Renault has unfortunately obviously been disqualified. He would have just been powered into the back of someone. But we can only see what can happen. Hopefully we'll be able to get a little bit more insight about the weather when it comes to the stewards, hopefully. So we'll see what we can do. Hopefully,
it doesn't look overly wet now, but you don't want to risk too much around here because it is the hardest of hardest bites come from Monaco as Bremboy and Perfect Knave get themselves disqualified. But you don't want to take too many risks here, but I could certainly tell you just from the look of the track there, to start on the wets would have burned them out after 2 or 3 laps. So I think everyone's happy to, start on the softer rubber. I think those on the mediums might struggle a little, but not too much. It looks like it's going to be just fine, but we don't know.
As the final chaps are pulling into the positions now, we are pretty much almost set to go underway. What a race we could be in for. It's Monaco. It's lights out. There's a pause. We go as Boyce gets an excellent start. Wasabi trying to see if he can get into a bit of groove there. Falls behind. Mighty Fever probably may have come in contact with Wasabi. Boyce at the moment. Wasabi still takes that second place start. Sharky has dropped down to 5th. Ronnie gone down to 4th.
The mediums start struggling.
Mediums are struggling. Lightning 66 at the moment with the softs. He's looking to obviously just capitalise on that, hopefully, as Brent Boyd then goes into 11th from Anarchy is back. Shromi's gone up to 3rd, but taking over Mighty Fever.
This could be a car parking.
This is going to be a car parking. What's going to happen?
I think they all got through, but there's some contact in there. There's
some contact side by side, but by the looks of things, everyone has gone through quite smoothly. Hang on! Who was that? That was critical. I did see a car literally spin around. It is the Red Bull. He's retired straight away.
Wow! So a first lap incident at Monaco there, going into Poitiers. It looked to me like the Red Bull. Oh, dearie me! This is
temp as well.
Oh wow! So he's managed to make that move stick there. I'm not sure if it's legal or anything. No, he's given the position back. So that is
perfect nave. That's perfect nave.
Perfect nave. Has spun it around.
He's gonna
destroy.
He's gonna be destroying that car. Have you ever watched Austin Powers?
Oh wow!
Sorry, we'll go back to the race.
Sharky's all the way down to 11th. I think he's been in an incident.
No, he's gone into pit. So he will more likely probably pick up some damage either going into Santa Park or into the hairpin. But
that was a Mercedes spinning.
That was another Mercedes. That is 1966.
I think the track's getting wetter, maybe. I don't know. He's swirling about,
So far with the FAA, we haven't got any more acknowledgement about the weather, but by the looks of things, it could get worse.
Well, this has been a bit of a start as the Renault just switched positions there, and I think it's probably worth going on board with maybe Mighty FIFA, who seems to be pushing Cerrone for the podium position, but the field is spreading itself out evenly, as we often see around Monaco. It's hard to follow. It's hard to get into wheel-to-wheel combat without anyone making it through alive, pretty much. But what I am noticing is, look at that gap at the front already.
That's literally, once again, the man proving us wrong from last week. 2 seconds already. Obviously world champion, obviously, so this race obviously means nothing, but still, what an absolute spectacle at the moment. So once he puts a 1 minute 22,
that will come, but I reckon that will come right down. It is a good sign that if it gets too much slower than that, like if it gets to like a 1 minute 25, I think you see people come in for the wet. But as the track dries up, you will see the fastest lap come down quite significantly from that point.
Wild 1000 taking over for Tempo Tesla. Still don't know what happened with him. Hope he's okay, and obviously I hope nothing's wrong. But obviously, Wild 1000 is coming in for the mediums. Sector on the yellow flag. That is Temp. That is Temp, but he's only just come out of the pits. So I can only imagine what's happened then.
Who knows? Who knows what happened there? There's going to be yellow flags coming out left, right, and centre. If it's worth riding on board with Mighty FIFA, who's right up the gearbox of Cerrone around the back. Not an ideal place to be now, going all the way into the swimming pool chicane here. You can see actually this is quite difficult driving conditions on the damp track. There isn't a lot of grip, and there's going to be room for greater commitment as look the fastest lap
Boris,
comes
1
down
minute
again
21.
now. Saroni had a bit of oversteer on exit there, and I think that might could cost him. It's so difficult to overtake it, especially in these conditions. Saroni gets loose on exit.
Might be had to back up a little bit, otherwise he'd go pound to the back of it.
We've got loads of people pitting. We've got our first penalty being handed out to YT0, and is this Turn?
It's Chun.
Is this Turn getting his elbows out? Elbows are flying everywhere. They're going to carry this one on into Mirabeau.
My FIFA's obviously got the inside line, so he'll probably take that position comfortably.
Safety car.
Safety car
Is that Nathal
in.
Allen or someone dropped down the order there? And I think there'll be some penalties handed out there. I think I just saw quite a lot of contact. Yeah, Turn's got a penalty. Severe collision with Marty FIFA. I think that was just
So
bad timing.
safety car, what is going on? Unless there's debris on the track and they need to obviously get it done. But
There
usually
must have been an incident. Is it 10? Yeah, he's gone into the pits, so I wonder what's... There's quite a lot of front noses being changed. I have no idea what's brought this out. Wow, looking
I would
at
have thought that would have been a virtual safety car, surely, if it was just debris on the track.
If it was just debris, that's a safety car, because the game just blanks it out pretty quickly.
Tempe's just got a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting.
It looks here like Boris is going to go on a bit of an alternate strategy. He looks like he's going on to mediums from lap 4. That's going to be a long way to go, but I think he's measured that he has the pace. Wasabi's going to stay out and play track position here. This could be interesting.
It depends on what the weather is doing now. I mean, we've still got no more information at the moment with what's going on.
It doesn't look like it's going to rain hard enough to me to warrant going on to West. I mean, if it does, if there's another safety car now, Boris has bitten that strategy game, then he's going to have to do some overtaking. Because, say, Wasabi takes these tyres another 7 to 10 laps, which, I mean, the safety car coming out will allow him to rest his tyres a little, and then another safety car comes out. All of a sudden, Wasabi not only has track position, but he then gets that pit stop back. So this is it's a risky game to play, but I totally understand why Boris has done that, as it's theoretically a free pit stop. He would have dropped much further down if it wasn't for this.
Vero got another penalty. I mean, how many penalties is that for him now? That is 2 penalties, 6 seconds in total. To be honest, when they do say when it comes, is
that getting heavier? To me, that looks like it's getting heavier.
It does look like it's getting heavier. I can only imagine what's going on. If it depends really what goes on now, because let's face it, if it's getting heavier and heavier, it would not surprise me. I mean, the track still looks relatively dry unless someone comes in for a set of intermediates, at which point they probably jump the gun a little bit, and obviously Porsche might be in a bit of trouble here.
I don't know Porsche, so Marty FIFA pits.
So
Boris is up to second. He's going to go on to the mediums.
He's going on to the mediums as well.
I don't... Well, he had a bit of wing damage as well. So, right, that makes sense. I don't think that it's going to get hard enough myself. There's no standing water.
No, there's definitely no standing water.
For sure. It is just a bit of spittle. But, difficult.
Perfect Nave has retired from the race.
So, not an easy start. Probably feels, am I going to improve on this? No. And he probably just wants to go and do something on his Friday night. Fair enough. We can't deny him that. It's starting to splash up a little now.
It is starting to splash up a little bit.
I don't know. I can't tell you what to do now. I need to see some racing laps to see what the lap times are saying, because if the lap times aren't going to come down, then...
The thing is, out of the 2 tyres that's going on, I mean, I know for a fact that obviously the subs are some soft. They're a bit more... Obviously, they're... how can I put it? A bit more worn compared to those one lap mediums of what Boris has got on. Would you say like having the soft tyre is probably the best position at the moment?
I think you can take soft tyres on this track if you're good with tyres. There's no reason you can't take them 15 racing laps. As Stockbay Saints gets a 5-second penalty, so we will start to see them handed out now behind the safety car. But what I was saying is, there's no reason why Wasabi can't extend this stint on the softs, but they're also, I would still rather be on slightly worn softs than new mediums in damp conditions.
Definitely. So far, I mean, can only imagine who's going to go in. Nutella is coming in. He's only literally two laps on the soft, so he must have obviously. I think he obviously picked up an incident. So what would he go on? He wouldn't mind as far as if he goes on to the mediums. He goes on the hards, I believe. Yes, he goes on the hards.
So he's clearly not expecting the weather to get any worse, and he's probably looking to go to the end. So that would be a biblical undercut here. And if the weather doesn't deteriorate, then Wasabi's kind of lost out. I think he's taking a gamble here, which is, your Monaco, good place to go gambling. Whitey Vera gets
Vera again?
You're feeling all right there, Vera, but you can only get up to 24 seconds worth of penalties before you get sent home. I'd suggest,
And we're only lap 7, mate, so you need to... I'd simmer it down a little bit, mate.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But no news yet on the weather. It just looks consistently and I believe the safety car's going to be coming in this lap.
It wouldn't surprise me if it does, but let's face it, you've still got Vero to still catch up.
I might just leave him hanging out to dry.
Yes, safety car is coming in this lap. The race control has literally just said this now. So, let's see what can happen as we are coming up to the restart.
Try and get a better view of the restart. Maybe go on to Wasabi and then race Camel.
Cool, we will go here.
Lovely.
Right, Wasabi's slowing the pack up real nice and slow there.
Probably hoping someone like Desi. Oh, by the way, Desi, that's a really good strategy.
Desi, very good strategy.
If he can go to, and I think it has stopped raining.
No, it's still going. So
right. Wasabi's still not speeding up here. Gamesmanship as he goes there, and that's actually opened Boris up to an attack from Desi, but then Desi gets swamped by Saromi.
Saromi, literally.
Saromi,
there's a pilot. There's a pilot now, or maybe not.
So
I think he just goes through, but everyone will be literally. That's so much debris on the track there.
Oh my word! There was some contact there, and that could have ended in disaster.
That's cornflakes, I think. He was right behind Nutella.
Yeah, he definitely caught a bit of tyre there. As we now go down the field,
It's Sharky making a move on Lightning 66. Gets the job done.
It is possible to pass there at Mirabeau, but you need to have a really good exit through Casino, and you need to have...
Everyone seems to be okay. Everyone is okay. No one...
Boris right on the gearbox now of Wasabi. Is it going to go...
Vera has retired.
Well, he's not had an easy race, Vera, again, with all the penalties stacking up. Boris is really fast on this track. You can see there, Wasabi's going to be put under all kinds of pressure.
Another one, Lightning 66, I believe, as is plummeted.
It looks like he's had an incident going into the Nobel chicane. VSC.
Another one. I can see. I
saw a front wing just there on the side of the road.
Just straight after the chicane.
I think this could be a bit of a rinse and repeat kind of race with lots of VSCs, maybe one more full safety car. It's hard to see the race now not playing into Boris's hands. I just saw his pace there on the restarts. A couple of people come in to use this opportunity to pit. It's not as much of a free pit stop as a full safety car, but it is a big, maybe saves you probably 5 seconds in the race under virtual safety car, something along those lines as we get back underway.
Yes, as we are coming up towards the hairpin. Sabi at the moment on softs with Bosch on 4-lap-old mediums. Now, Bosch, obviously, we already said as well as last week, he is absolutely dominant around Monaco. He is going to be hunting Wasabi down, but he's got a little surpriser behind him. Desi.
I see a rare and hungry for a podium, Desi, and he's right up there and he's in it to win it.
We'll see what the weather is planning out. I mean, so far it is still spitting, isn't it? It's still giving a little spatter. Ooh.
Every time they go through to back there, it always feels like someone's going to understeer into a barrier. That's an aggressive line.
Very aggressive line, but still, it is probably keeping it behind. I mean, what would you say would be the strategy in terms of your driving when it comes to Monaco? I mean, obviously, when it comes to, it's always about track position. But so basically, I think I've heard you say before, just pretty much just put your car right in the middle of the track.
Yeah, if I'm Basabi now, it's car in the middle of the track. However, I think the gamble to stay out isn't going to pay off here. So DRS is enabled, which means that the race control on the game doesn't think it's damp enough of a track. It's a telltale sign for those who maybe dabble in the F1 game. If you want to know when the perfect transition is to go onto wet tyres, it's when DRS is disabled. That is your cue on this game to come in onto the intermediates or wets, depending on the situation or what you want to do. So I think maybe this gamble from Basabi, admirable as it is, might not pay off.
Can I just go? I'm going to have a literally just look. I've just been given information by the FIA here. Apparently, Borish has a front wing damage. Let's have a look.
Is that an end plate on the right hand side? Yeah, right hand side end plate. It's gone.
Yeah, it is gone.
Oh wow! And Stocko Saints has had an incident. Yeah, he's
corner-cutted, and he's probably cut out Brenboy there a little bit as well.
And it's cost him 5 seconds, and then he's nearly understeered into the right-hand side there of the back. Well, if Borish has wing damage, then maybe it all swings over again. This is going to be one strange script.
It's going to be a very strange one.
Cerrone with a 3-second penalty. It was all looking fantastic for Cerrone on that safety car restart. Unfortunately,
he got a bit too hungry into the block.
Exactly. It's Sharky, 1 minute 20 fastest lap. That is coming down, so I do believe that we won't see any wet tyre racing. But with that wing damage for Borish, I mean, it's not really slowing him down too much. It's just going to be especially through this section. It's going to be a lot of understeer. Cerrone, fastest lap,
1:17.
The track is completely dry now. I think it has stopped raining.
I think Desi might have just pulled off.
Desi's pulled a great strategy here.
Absolutely tremendous here.
There's no way Tuan takes soft to the end of the race. And
obviously Borish towards the end of the race
is going to little bit of damage. Anarchy is back. He's got a 3-second time penalty, and Basabi needs to pit. Well done on that gamble there, going on to the hards, Desi. But you've got a really fast Tuan behind you, and that's a lovely aggressive line there through Le Piscine.
The thing is, obviously, Turner's actually got to come in as well.
Yeah.
Look at him; he's on the softs as well. So
he's going to be fast.
Very fast for now.
Well, this is...
Anarchy is back as well. He's fifth. I mean, yes, he's got a penalty, but it doesn't matter. He's on the same with Desi, so he's obviously going to come up as well.
Stocko Saints gets past Brenboy there. And I'm trying to wrap my brain, guys, about how this is going to go, which that could have gone very wrong there with Brenboy and Stocko Saints. I find it really difficult to predict what's going to happen in this race. I'm pretty sure Basabi's strategy is there's a yellow flag in sector 3.
I believe it is. Yeah, it is the Ferrari.
Is that sector 3? No, that's sector 3
going
onto the line.
Onto the line.
Wow. Okay.
Anything damage to him? No. All the end players there, so can only imagine.
Yeah, he maybe just got a bit loose. It's difficult to know, but there is a queue forming now behind the leader whose tyres will now be feeling the strains, and very interesting what's going to happen. Or Desi's got a penalty, that's going to hinder him.
That's definitely going to hinder him, but remember, he's on the hards. He could probably do bits, but
I think Borish has taken a huge... He came in so early to go onto the mediums, and I think I understand what he's thinking there. We saw it in Tier 2, people pitting early, taking it deep, but by the end of the race, he's going to be struggling. I think
Stocko Saints with a 1:15.
Yeah, that's coming down wildly now. Unfortunately, Basabi, I like you, mate, but the gamble to stay out is not working unless you get another safety car.
Cornflakes is okay.
There's a little pile up there.
And Cornflakes has completely lost his wing there. I believe.
And half a wing there.
And half a wing there for Tem.
Well, there's a couple of 100k there laying on the track at Monaco.
It's good thing these guys are literally just drivers on a game. Because trust me,
you see here Borish is definitely close going into Novell chicane here. Not close enough to make a move. And there's a McLaren spinning.
That is Kun. That is Kun. The other McLaren has literally, I think he must have done it.
He clipped his left rear tyre on coming into Novell, and I think that spun him round.
Very hard to do. I mean, it's very easy to do. Let's face it. But at the end of the day, you really do need to watch where your tyres are going. Unfortunately, with this,
there are a lot of barriers that kind of jump out at you, especially going up here as that's a back marker in the way there, and as you see, he will be ghosted. So Basabi can just drive right through.
It can be off-putting having a ghost in front of you.
Absolutely. I turn the ghost off on my career modes and things like that. Oh, that confused me there. That is a Renault there unlapping itself. It's on the soft tyres, but I thought someone there had got a bit aggressive with Borish. Thought Anakia's back had an oversteer moment. Thought Anakia's back had launched one up the inside and Mirabai.
Trust me, I think it would have been pure Anakia if it did happen.
That would have been.
Oof. Sorry for the pun, ladies and gentlemen, but there we go. But
lockups.
The amount of lockups. Wasabi, you need to come in, mate. You need to come in, I think.
He's playing safety car. He's playing safety car all the way here, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I think so.
It's the only hope he's got of not plummeting down the order. If he pits now, he's coming out probably outside the top 10.
Again, there by Wasabi. What's he going to do? He's staying out again. He is begging.
He's begging for a safety car. Is anyone going to oblige, have a spin out, a total? Well, Wasabi certainly hopes so, as they do start to pull away from Desi now. And you can tell Borish has pace in hand. He just needs to be patient, not launch any silly moves that'll end in tears. And I think he can go and control the races. The fast lap is now down to 1 minute 13.
And Chironi in the Williams.
So, as I said earlier, that 1 minute 20 was always going to come down.
I mean,
so much oversteer for
it is so much oversteer. Literally, can't. I really am struggling to see
right up the gearbox.
Right behind him.
He's going to try and make a move.
I think he could.
Well.
Oh, that's Wasabi has literally just parked it. So, did we just see Cornflake literally just?
I'm so sorry for laughing, Cornflakes. That was just really funny on the screen. Just as they were making their way through the corner, and I just saw, go straight on. I think he overdid it there into the braking zone. Maybe the Alpha Tauri just poking through the ghost of Red Bull there could have maybe been a bit distracted.
Possibly. Stocko Saints gains another position and gains that position back. And Sharky has pitted in. Now, what is he going to go for? He's going to go for the mediums.
Yeah. I think
Show me again with a 1 minute 12.
He's killing it with the fastest laps, and he clearly has pace in hand as he was up there before the weeks. This is Wasabi's begging for a safety car.
He is. I mean, look how close. Seriously.
What I'm admiring about Borish here is just the patience, because I think most drivers would just really want to get this move done. But you can't around Monaco, and that's what makes it one of the Triple Crown races. Is it's all about this
both lock up there
tactical way of thinking. It's all about patience. There's a yellow flag. VSC. That's not going to be enough.
Not for Wasabi, no. It's not going to be enough.
And he'll have to abide by the delta as well. You can see he really wants in, but it's not going to be enough, I'm afraid, for our old mate Wasabi there.
Is he going to come in? He is coming in. I think he has to. Wasabi, obviously, you could have done so well there, mate, but unfortunately,
if a safety car came out there, he would have looked like a machine.
He will be going, though, onto the mediums. That is no question doubt about it, especially with 22 laps to go. It's a sad sight to see. Yeah. It really is.
I said he'd come out probably outside the top 10.
Well, it just depends on what happens now. The only best thing about him now is the fact that, massive amount of lock up there for Borish. The only problem, obviously, with Wasabi is obviously, like you said, if there's overtaking opportunities, there isn't. He's gonna have to do this
quite a difficult way. Now maybe he hopes people in front of him make mistakes, but this is tier 1. We're not actually seeing a lot of people clatter into the barriers, as I thought that was another move there from Sharky. It's not. Anarchy is back with
another one. Stocko Saints at the moment
got himself into the podium place,
but he has a penalty. 13 seconds! Stocko Saints! What have you been doing, mate?
Not taking the corners properly, clearly. Bless him. Well, look, you know, that puts Marty FIFA onto the podium at the moment.
As it stands.
Anarchy is back at 6 seconds worth of penalties, and then you've just got more issues now. That gap's just increasing.
Anarchy is back, just needs to make ends meet of these next laps. He needs to pull out a lead here
He's got some clean air, as Sharky says fast lap, 1:12.4 on the fresh mediums that he recently went onto. He won't get that extra point, as he is 11th. He's right on the back of the Sabi.
Torn with a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. That can only be probably
Nouvelle chicane
or Sandra Bot.
Yeah. So at Nouvelle chicane, there's as we'll just see right here with Stocko Saints. I'll tell you where the people could be going wrong. It's this left here. You want 2 wheels on the track at least, otherwise you get a warning. It's so easy to overdo, but it's the fastest way around the corner. In real life, the drivers actually make a use of and actually take the corner. But on the game, if you want to gain an advantage, 2 wheels on, 2 wheels off. And the same around Sandavot is 2 wheels. So there's a curb and then there's a upper curb, as you'll see. I'll point it out onto the first corner here. And if you go too far onto the upper curb, that triggers the penalty as well. So we'll see here with Lightning 66. You just look out.
It's just behind Schromi at the moment.
Look out for Sandavot. See the upper curb there?
Yes.
Too much of the upper curb, and that's your warning as well. So that's Morris Pace. If you just get on board with him, he's very close.
Pace. Where it is? There he is. He's very close behind Renboy.
Oh, you've got a snap there. Still would have been thinking about the move there.
His teammate Natalia Allen just behind him as well. At the moment, Natalia Allen probably has the tyre advantage, but let's face it, tyre advantage on this is probably...
It won't mean too much.
It won't mean too much for this race. It's all about car position. Literally just planting your car right in the middle of that track.
I'll tell you one thing. Morris Pace will be begging. Oh, he's going for it. He's
contact between 2.
There's lots and lots of pushing and shoving. No one wants to be the one to
Hang on.
in. It's I thought Natalia Allen had pounced on both of them there. That was probably what I'll say is
these 2 together. These 4 of them. Look at them.
Yeah. This could all end in tears as the Alphas tap each other. Oh,
We've got literally a proper try going on here between 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and possibly 11th at the moment. There's literally so many of them that could have a say in this.
Oh my word.
We've got Renboy and Morris Pace still going at each other. We've also still got Morris Pace and his teammate, Natalia Allen, literally just behind him as well.
I can't believe how aggressive.
This is very aggressive, seriously.
Renboy cut across Morris Pace there. You're not coming through, as I think someone's overtook there. Is that...
Oh no! The 2 teammates have just collided into each other.
That's a car park.
I'd have to say.
Oh,
I'd have to say Natalia Allen probably may have been at fault.
It's difficult to say there because you can get a move done in real life, but I very rarely see a move get done in this game around Rouleau's hairpin. And I have to say, it's difficult to know who's at fault there. A lot more room could have been given, and I think we saw that one coming a bit of a mile off there because, it got an aggressive throughout most of that lap, and it still doesn't mean the battle isn't going to go on though. If we can, if you look at Lightning 66, he's got Sharky now, who's benefited hugely from that, and Saromi looking to overtake Renboy, and I think he's got him.
Does so. Lovely corner there. That is fantastic there by Shiromi. That is
fantastic. Really is. We've got still a bit. So is it Sharky who's now really benefited from the incident? We know he's got a lot of pace. And he's gonna.
Oh, bit of a switch.
Oh,
He's going to go around the outside. Around the outside. Is he going to get the move done? He's got the inside. I think Lightning 66 is going to have to yield.
Oh,
he does
wow.
so. It's Sharky. That is very well done, my son. That is brilliant.
I
Well
take
done.
back. You can do a move on this game.
You just have to have. That thing is the term.
That is absolutely unbelievable.
Wasabi just behind Lightning 66. He's going to benefit now from what Sharky's just pulled off.
He's benefiting greatly from the two. And it's not the first time, by the way, we've seen the two alphas come together. In their first race together around Zandvoort, Marty FIFA gets up into third as Anaki's back pits.
Desi obviously picked up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Brandboy now comes into pit. So does Anarchy is back. So that puts Sharky up, and that puts Wasabi up 2 places as well.
Exactly. If the safety car comes out now, this would pretty much be the order. The worst nightmare in a race is if you've just pitted and then the safety car comes out. As you know, you've gained absolutely nothing and you've lost absolutely everything.
Just depends on what the damage is for everyone else. Because remember, this is obviously.
Ooh. Oh, it's the black Renault. How many laps is 10th down? I swear I keep seeing him pop up here.
Well, he's 40. According to this, he's 47 seconds, but that's behind his next person.
So he's more than a lap down up until Sharky then.
Probably.
So what's the closest that we've got? It's Wasabi and Lightning. So shall we get on board with Wasabi?
Wasabi?
Oh wait, no, Desi on Tuan. Look, Desi and Tuan.
Desi and Tuan.
Oh!
And Desi has spun. But obviously that has not turned out well for Desi. Can you only imagine what happened there? He looked to be on the inside. I gathered it. It'll be clipping the inside wall. I'm going to go on with Wasabi and 1966 as 1966 parks it very well. Contact there. With 1966. No damage at the moment with Wasabi. Both end plates are still there, but all the wings still there as well. Wasabi right up behind him. He's going to want to try and see if he can get it done, maybe. Or 1966 caught that very well. I think he knew it was coming.
Yeah, he's done. And I tell you, Wasabi's now
lock up on both there.
I can tell you, Wasabi's now angry that his gamble didn't pay off, and he is driving with hell for leather.
Let's see what he can do. He has got ERS. He's in the tunnel, in the slipstream right now. Can he pull it off now? And there, what's it called?
Novel chicane.
Novel chicane. Around the outside.
He breaks later and he gets the move
done.
Oh,
wow.
Textbook.
That is
brilliantly done. If he opens himself up to attack, it'd take a brave man to get a overtake done at the back as Chun gets a penalty. Again, if we could just have a penalty update.
Penalty update. Stop goes Saints with 13 seconds. That's going to definitely push him off.
Yep. And then you've got 9 seconds for Saromi. And then just further back, you've got a mix of 6s and 3s down the field.
Towards
midfield there. So, what we've got now, that's the closest battle. That's Desi and Morris Pace.
It will be.
Tuan's gone into the pit as well. Morris Pace, I think Morris Pace has made the overtake, right?
Morris Pace has literally got a 3-second time penalty for
that would have been for the cut.
Oh, these two are touching. They score constantly.
Yeah, I think Morris Pace is a bit angry again. Maybe driving a little bit angry with what happened at the Lowe's hairpin. He looks
see both end plates. Yeah, Morris Pace is still okay in terms of damage. Let's have a look as he goes into the hairpin. Desi looks a bit slow there.
Yeah, Desi looked like he got his braking a little bit wrong there and went quite deep. Slow in, fast out around this entire section is pretty much your best bet. But he had a good exit there from Portier. Anarchy is back now as a 3-second penalty. He's down in 9th place, and that'll put him up to 9 seconds worth of penalties.
He's probably served what he's gone down to. He went down to 6, obviously. Served the penalty in the pit, so obviously now he's going to have to. Yeah, not going to do so well for him now.
Well, let's see what happens here because, as you can see, Natal Allen and Lightning 66 and Anarchy are all in the battle for the lower points paying positions.
Oh, I really don't know how to see how this pans out. I mean, to be honest, I think Horsch has got this in the bag now. I think,
Unless he makes his own mistake, which you never say
never say never.
But that's a really great exit from the Renault, and I think he's going for it here.
He has.
That
is absolutely fantastic. Anarchy is back. Well played, Timo.
That was a fantastic release from Casino. He gets the overtake done into Mirabeau on the inside.
This is
we
the
can get on
two
board with Anarchy.
Anarchy is back. He's behind Lightning 66. Now Lightning 66 is dropping.
He's got 19 lap hold in as well, which isn't too bad on this track, but it looks like Anarchy is back, is wanting to make the moves.
Locked up there by Lightning 66 and Mercedes.
He's a brave man to make a move.
I think Anarchy's just trying to get out of the clean there, see what he can get out of it. Not much though, as they're coming up towards the last couple of corners of this lap, coming up to the last gap.
Larascas here. You want to try and make the break in as straight as possible while that happens, the big lock-up. And then Anthony Nodes here. And an exit is so important as this is the only DRS, so not like you're going to get too much of an advantage. As Wildy 1000 gets a penalty. That could have ended in a rear ender there.
It's still very close between these two.
Bremboy gets past Morris is pitted on 23 lap old hards, so clearly that gamble's not paid.
Do you
off
think Anarchy's back is playing the mentality game here with Lightning 66?
He's trying to get over the wing mirrors, force a mistake. Oh, that would have been.
He was weaving up and down literally just before Casino Square.
Trying to force the mistake.
Oh, definitely.
Trying to force a lock-up. Anything, and I mean, look how close he is now. This is going to be. He ain't got a lot to attack with, but it's going to have to be around the outside, fella.
No, Lightning 66 has got penalty, but Anarchy is back, has come away with it.
No
penalty there. By looks of things, it was a legal overtake.
Yeah.
So.
Well played. Basabi, so Sharky's pitting. So Basabi slowly made his way up from 10th all the way back to 5th.
I can only imagine he's going to the softs, which he's doing.
And a nose cone. Now so what would that be? 14 laps on counting the last lap, 14 laps on the softs. There's no reason why you can't do it, but you'll be quite slow at the end, but I don't think that matters.
Unless he's going to try and go for the fastest lap, but he can't.
He'll need to do an overtake.
He needs to do an overtake.
And I think, it seems a bit early to be thinking about that, really. But we'll see.
We can see.
What else have we got? We've got last place is right behind 10th. So let's have a look with the back markers now.
I believe 10th is literally.
No, they're not being lapped while he's in last place, but he looked like he ghosted there. I think they're both ghosted because they're lapped cars.
Yes, so we'll see what goes. Yeah, definitely. Wildy is literally just behind him.
Oh, that's a big understeer moment. Until Alan picks up a 3-second penalty. We'll do another penalty check in a few laps' time. That scared the living daylights out of me.
And if he's back just lapping his teammate, that needs to be sorted. As Wildy has
Wildy's in the Ferrari.
Bremboy's got another second time penalty. Let's have a look at the penalties now. I mean, we're looking at the 9s. Stocker Saints with 13. Esrome with 9. Anarchy with 9. 3, 6, 6, 9, 6, 3, 6, 6. So pretty much,
it's so easily done here because everyone who plays and races in Monaco will think, they would probably rather take a corner cut to get themselves out of the wall.
And Matthew, I would like to point out to the fact that Stocker Saints is actually making a bit of a gap between him and Marty FIFA, he's got a 13-second time penalty. Could Stocker Saints pick up the pace?
He's going to need to find 10 seconds from somewhere. You're getting the gap confused from Stocker Saints to Boris.
Yes, sorry, my apologies.
He's going to need to find 10 seconds. So, I think that was a lapped car. Yeah, he's going to need to find Marty FIFA. So Saromi's come into the pits. Wasabi's really working himself back up here. I think that's admirable. He's only 1.2 seconds behind his teammate. He could still land second place here.
I mean, wow. I mean, Anarchy back with a 1:11.881. I mean, that's once again coming right back down. Wasabi, obviously, I believe, is probably the more experienced driver compared to Marty FIFA. But Marty's FIFA is going to be looking very, very anxious now with his rear move. It's Sharky with a 1:11.6 in the softs. He's now looking to do the fastest lap, and he's already up into 8th.
So yes,
so he will be going for the fastest lap.
I believe there's some team orders going on there.
There was a team order, I think there.
That must have been.
I think.
I don't know if they're chatting in party or something, but it makes total sense because Wasabi's got a huge tyre advantage. As you can see, he's already pulling away around to back. And, he's going to go after Stocko Saints. He doesn't really need to make the overtake, but that actually totally makes sense. I just wonder, they must be in the party together, right? It's either that or Marty FIFA used his intuition and just got himself out of the way.
I mean, that is...
We can get to 10th place.
We will go to 10th place with Shiromi, who's coming up right behind Brenboy.
Big tyre advantage here. Fresh softs against 7-lap-old mediums. He's going to be rapid for a few laps, Shiromi, and we know he's got the pace, and you can see the tyre advantage in the corner there as there's some love taps going on. Wow.
And Brenboy is literally...
He has no intention there of getting his way.
Shiromi did look like
that was a corner cut,
but he didn't get anything. I believe Shiromi at the moment is probably safe at the moment because look at him, he's got 9 seconds, but so does Brenboy. So I think 9th place is probably at the moment, as it stands, secured for him.
Just a quick look there. Stocko Saints had a 6.5 second gap. It's now 4.3 after just one lap. Wasabi is popping them laps in, and Anarchy is back as half a second behind Marty FIFA as there is a yellow flag.
Two. So what has happened? Nothing is dropping down the order as it stands at the moment.
Unless it's 10. He's so far behind.
10 is so far behind, but I don't think he will obviously matter in this race as it stands. So Wasabi, it's gone down to literally 3 seconds now.
We could get on board with him.
We will.
He's putting in some laps here, and I think it'd be good for the viewers to just see what is capable of being done around Monaco. The hardest track on this game, and it's just that was a lovely pivot through the corner. He's using all the rubber. It's now 2.7 seconds, and if I'm Stocko Saints now, I'm looking at that gap coming down, and I'm thinking, what the hell can I do? You can't do much because look at the tyre advantage, 11 laps, and there's a big pace advantage. So credit to Wasabi bringing this back because I thought it truly lost out, but it looks like if he can get, he's got the place anyway. As Sharky gets past Desi further back, you can see here, Stocko Saints has the 12 seconds of penalties, and Wasabi doesn't need to make any positions up here, but I think he fancies maybe trying to see if he can cut into that gap. Maybe he knows Boris has got some wing damage.
Well, to be honest, he's got 14 lap-old tyres, whereas Boris has got 27. He's going to probably want to get if he wants to get over fucking Saints, he's going to have to do it, I believe, this lap. But he's only a second behind.
Yeah, he's going to have to put in a hard yard.
Go for it.
He's going to have to put in a hard yard this lap and get right onto the gearbox by the time maybe they're in the tunnel. And with each corner that passes, the advantage does come into Wasabi's hands here, because it is in the corner where the tyre makes the difference. Lock up there. He's pushing so hard. I can't believe how quick that gap went down. And that was obviously some woo.
I think it was a lap ago. It was literally they were about about 4 seconds, and now literally right behind it. As we're looking to see what we can do now. Wasabi going up behind Stocko Saints. Where's he going to place the car?
He's got the inside line. And I think
he's going to get it done, and he does so. Right, Wasabi is now hunting down Borish.
I don't think no matter how much wing damage Borish has, that Wasabi can do this, but let's just take a moment to put into perspective what he's done. On the hardest track, where it's so hard to overtake, he played a game in the opening stages of track position, hoping for either another safety car or a weather change. Didn't work. He got put down to 10th place, and although some people have pitted, he's had to do some overtakes, and he's done them, and he's made them stick, and they've been clean. He's got no penalties. Fair play.
He's already taken off half a second now from Borish.
He'll need to be doing about a second and a half.
Pretty much doing a second a lap.
He will need to be doing more. He'll need to do about a second and two thirds, pretty much, a lap to do it. I think Boris has done enough, but
well, to be honest, I mean he's already taken off a second.
I don't think it's going to be enough. Not at the current pace. This would need to be maybe 10. If this gets to 10 seconds at the end of the lap, then maybe. But I don't think it's going to be enough. Anaki's back is up in third. There's yellows in sector 2.
Can only imagine what that's for. I believe it's Sharky. Yeah, it's Sharky.
It's Sharky. Is that going to bring anything out?
Probably a virtual safety car. Now, what is that going to do? That's going to bring Boris back a little bit, but Basabi is obviously going to have to do as well.
If Basabi had a bigger gap, he could have pitted onto soft there, but he doesn't.
To be honest, so could have Boris. To be honest, he would have had probably a bigger gap.
Boris could have. But I think if there is even the slightest bit of wing damage, is there a way we've got front? We can do front wing cam, right? Press R1. R1 again. R1 again. R1 again. No.
So he hasn't got anything. That and they're both end plates are there. Oh no, hang on.
No, one end plate.
One end plate is still missing. There's a yellow flag in. Sharky is gone. So has Shiromi. Them two are now knocked out of the race. That hasn't brought out a safety car, so I can only imagine what's happened there.
Boris is pushing hard now, and he has to. I don't. If Basabi had got the move done earlier or had some luck at the safety car, which there still might be, then you never know. But all we can say is fair play to Boris here for making up the positions he needed to. It's not an easy track to get the overtakes done. He's done it.
Dawn has a drive-through penalty as it stands. Anarchy is back with 9 seconds, but he could be ended up getting his first podium, but there was a yellow in sector 1 and 2.
And look, Temp's 2 minutes behind.
Temp is now 2 minutes behind.
That's his nearest person.
It will be.
Blue flag. I'm just wondering if there is another safety car here.
I think there could be, but I think it'll be properly late.
It needs to come out basically this lap.
It'll have to come out now.
But you know what?
A yellow car.
It's Natalan.
Sector 2 and 3. But you and me are basically looking at that corner right now. We are waiting for that safety car. Yellow sector 3. Is there going to be a safety car? No, there is not.
It looks like the script's written. The gap was coming down. It wasn't coming down.
Come on. No.
We
are holding our breath because we don't know what can happen here.
A safety car would really, really spice things up. I think as it stands, despite being 6 seconds behind, is it? Yeah, Anarchy is back. Can we check his penalties?
I believe he is for 9. So he will, as it stands, get a podium, I believe, at the moment. Yes, because Marty FIFA is obviously 6 seconds behind. So, yes, as it stands, I think Anarchy is back. Will get that podium place.
And Marty FIFA.
Yeah,
Marty FIFA will be on the podium unless Stocko Sainz can smash in biblical laps right now. But I tell you what, no, Basabi, look at that gap going down. It's a shame it wasn't soon, otherwise we would have had a very interesting ending here. Boris, I don't think, will be feeling the pressure. But I tell you, so impressed with Basabi. Coming back from 10th when he'd sunken down and he'd taken a risk. It didn't quite pay off, but he's managed to get himself back up to 0, basically. He's not gained and he's not lost anything.
I mean, I don't know. It's hard to see what can go on, actually. And Boris, as it stands at the moment, he's going to win this race. Yeah. Unless something dramatically happens now.
Yeah, exactly.
That isn't going to.
Unless there's an incident, Boris hitting something again and damaging the front wing more.
I don't know. I think the only thing that could probably help Basabi now is if Boris gets a penalty, but it's very, very unlikely.
Yeah.
It all depends now on who is going to get that that third place.
final
As it
position. I
stands,
think it's Martin.
Anarchy is back so far as it stands going to get
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Because look at the difference between Stock and Saints and Anarchy is back.
Yeah.
12 seconds, or 13 seconds now.
Yeah.
So
Marty FIFA selflessly gave Basabi the place. Unfortunately, he's lost a place as well doing so.
I believe he'll go up to 4th though.
Yeah,
he will go up to
4th, but he won't get that podium. Anarchy is back. Has gone about. He's probably been, despite the penalties. You know, you could argue driver of the day. I mean, he's made a lot of positions up. Driver of the day is Basabi.
Basabi, yeah. In our eyes, it has to be Basabi. He's driving so well. Anarchy is back. Obviously, will more likely probably get it, considering obviously where he started.
I've just noticed how quickly that gap's coming down at the front.
That's come down to literally.
Has Boris got a punch?
I'm not entirely sure, but that is going down further and further and further.
I mean, those tyres, they're 33 laps old. Those tyres are gone. And I don't even mean this in a Lewis Hamilton joke way where he's about to put in the fastest lap. Those tyres are gone.
I know I'm going to be saying it now, but can he keep the car behind Bono?
Yeah.
I think Boris has got this, but the thing is just the way he is at the moment.
I wonder what percentage tyre that is, because
only imagine.
That must be like in puncture territory. Is that left front? Am I seeing things?
That left front?
Is that left front flapping about? No, it's not.
No, I think it was just the camera angle. Was he just
oh my word,
playing havoc with us?
This is actually going to be more intense than you think, guys, because
also this
Boris's tyres are on the limit. I don't know what's going to happen here.
We're going to stay on. We're going to stay with him because we don't know what can happen here.
Exactly. That gap is flying down now, so his tyres are clearly over the edge.
You want to pretty much a tenth per corner.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at it. It's
if Basabi had made the move a few laps earlier, we don't know. Final lap of the race, guys. Can Boris's tyres hold on?
I don't know. Literally, me and Matt have got hands. I'm facing our hands right now. We just do not know what can happen. It's come down to 2 seconds. Boris, I know you're winning there, mate, but sorry, Basabi is just out-driven.
This is gonna be so intense. Look, you can see Basabi's gonna be the wheel. That wasn't even
possible. Lap 33. It's lap 39, and because it was 10 seconds. So I don't think it's going to be done unless Boris feels the pressure.
I think there's locking up left, right.
And the key's back into 3-second time penalty. What does that do for him?
That's going to him up as well. What is happening? There's a yellow in sector 2. I think 2's DNF, and I think Boris is going to be okay here. Boris is going to be okay, but oh my word, this is close. Boris is going to be okay here.
Yeah, Boris has won it. Boris has won it. I know we wanted a more dramatic finish, but it doesn't matter. Boris wins the Monaco Grand Prix with Basabi in second. Anarchy secures as it stands at the moment with that third place. Does Stocko Saints come across the line? We'll see where he'll come out. Coming up to Larascas right now.
He's got Marty FIFA just behind as well. I think Anarchy is back, going to just about hang on. But it's not going to be by much, but let's see.
He gets it.
He gets it, so Anarchy is back, gets his first podium.
Anarchy is back, gets his first podium of the season. I
tell you, man. Boris's tyres were done at the end.
We need to ask him those questions when he comes into this chat.
Oh my word. I tell you, there's a yellow instinct through as well. It is something.
Bye. Oh, sorry, but guys, I believe we just sorry disconnected from that. I don't know what happened there, but obviously we're now back. I really don't. I don't know.
I don't know what to say myself, other than Boris held on right at the very end there, and it couldn't have been much closer. How the gap went down from 13 seconds to under a second, so 0.5 of a second in maybe 3 laps. That was the kind of tyre advantage. As Morris Pace nicked the fastest lap of 1:11.4, so he'll get the extra point. He had another coming together. That's 2 with his teammate Nattel Allen, and I think that's worth remembering, guys. Is that these 2 have now come together twice, and not a happy camp at the Alfa Romeo guys there.
Yeah, the words will be exchanged between those 2 at the end of the race. But what a race so far here, literally at the Monaco Grand Prix. See if we can get a couple of interviews going at the moment. I believe Desi will be our first driver we will be chatting to. See if he will come with us. He'll just be muted at the moment. Just bear with us, guys.
Desi, are you there, mate?
Oh, yeah. Hello.
Hello, Desi. Mate, you had such a good race at the start there, mate. I mean, obviously, Monaco is obviously a track where it can really affect you, but you still drove quite a really decent race, mate. But unfortunately, you just got tangled up with the other drivers. What was your thoughts, mate?
Yeah, it was my own fault. Every lap I got a minor front wing damage, and
right.
Eventually I had to make a pit stop.
It's not easy keeping it out of the wall, and you're talking about picking up little bits of front wing damage each time. How does that affect the car when you have a little bit of front wing damage? If you could just explain to the viewers.
Well, if it's a little bit of damage, it doesn't really matter. But if one front wing is completely broken, it's just it's undrivable.
Okay. Well, at the end of the day, you picked up points around the hardest track on the game, and we've got another street circuit. Sorry?
That's more than I hoped for.
And we've got another street circuit coming up in Singapore, so another race of attrition there, more potential walls to crash into. How do you feel going into that one? I suppose your confidence must be up a little bit higher after getting some points here.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit easier than Monaco, so I hope to get a good result there.
Nice one. Well, thank you so much for joining us, buddy, and have a good evening.
Right, that was Desi. We are now going to have a chat with the championship leader and obviously world champion for Tier 1 for the championship. Boris, mate, I can only imagine how your britches are actually feeling right now. Let's face it, I can only imagine that you had to go change your underwear literally after that race, considering that Sabi was literally just hunting you down bit by bit. I mean, we've just having a word with Desi saying that obviously with front wing damage, how can I put it? It was said that the car was possibly undrivable. Was that the same for you?
Yeah, it was very difficult to drive with a car which has front wing damage. I got the front wing damage in turn 1 because Mercedes dived in turn 1, and so I touched the wall, and so I was very slow, and that was I drove the whole race slow because of the front wing damage, and it was not very funny because I wasn't able to drive fast, and I didn't want to stop because it was too because it was too dangerous that I could stuck in traffic. But at the end, it was very close, and I'm happy that I was able to win that race.
How close were your tyres to going at the end? Because you were on them, I think, 33 laps. So what percentage were your tyres on at the end?
It was about 60%.
God.
Wow. And when you are being chased down at the rate that you were by Basabi, and you're looking up and you're seeing every lap the delta coming down, how does that affect your driving when you know that the person's catching you?
Yeah, it was very difficult because the gap between me and Basabi was going to be smaller, and so I had to drive very good and make no mistake and not get a time penalty. So I had to stay concentrated.
Excellent. Well, you told us last week this was your favourite track. You put in an unbelievable pole lap and you won the race. So all I can say is congratulations. You told us this was your favourite track and you've delivered. And we look forward to seeing you in Singapore.
Yeah, thanks to Singapore is also a track which is very long, and we will drive at night. And Singapore is also a track which I like.
Well, if you do as well at Singapore as you did today, then we're expecting more big things from you. Thanks for joining us, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks too.
We'll talk to Basabi now if you're there, Basabi.
We are talking with our runner-up for the race, Basabi, mate. I mean, I will say, I mean, obviously 1966 got the driver of the day, but me and Matt will simply say right here, right now, you deserve driver of the day. You drove absolutely amazing. So the fact that literally at one point, I think it was lap 33, you were at least probably 11 seconds behind Borish, and then you drove your heart out to get that to less than pretty much half a second. Seriously, I mean, that's incredible. I mean, how are you feeling after that race?
Yeah, no, I'm not disappointed, but a little bit, because maybe more would have been possible if I was on the right strategy, but
So,
I chose to go. Yeah, you ask
Sorry,
the questions, mate. No problems.
Sorry, man. I was going to say, at the start, obviously, you played track position. Were you maybe hoping for heavier rain so you kind of gained a pit stop or another safety car, or?
So no, it's like the track is wet, but not wet enough for intermediates. So I decided to stay out because the soft rubber is the best, has the most grip in those conditions. And I thought honestly that Boris was going to go to the hard tire. So my softs were already 77 degrees, I think, like bright blue on the restart. So I got a bit of a gap to him, but he got his tires up to temp as well. So that was a bit of a strategical mistake. But in the end, when I pitted, I came on back in P11. I didn't benefit much from the virtual safety car, and I got some overtakes on. I was still, when I was behind a Mercedes, I think I overtook him into the Nouvelle chicane around the outside, or on the inside. I don't know anymore. But I was still thinking about the long game, not getting damaged, because he was driving quite weird. Sometimes he was braking really late, and sometimes he was braking really early. So you had to be on it for the entire race. And at the end, I saw the gap coming down. I asked Jeff, 2 seconds a lap quicker. I was okay. We're gonna get him. Last lap, half a tenth. So yeah, it's most of the time. You heard it a lot in Formula One. One more lap, and I would have got him.
I know how that feels.
I think, to be honest, I could completely say I think you probably would have got him if there was one more lap. Basabi, mate, that's all we have time for, mate, because we're going to be going on to your teammates, who will be having quite a very interesting conversation we've got to have with him. But anyway, Basabi, mate, congratulations on the second place, mate. Well done for the drive, mate, and we'll see you for the season finale.
No problem, guys. Have a good one. My team is nice, so no problem.
Okay, well, we'll take your we'll
speak
take
to
it
him
for him
now.
now. Marty FIFA, are we here, my friend?
Yes, of course I'm here.
Hello, Marty FIFA, mate. Seriously, tremendous drive from you, mate. Fantastic all round. But there's one question I think me and Matt actually wanted to ask you at one point. There was a point literally just coming out of Portimao and then going into the tunnel.
Portier.
Is it Portier?
Yeah, Portimao.
Portimao, yeah, sorry. Portier, where you Portier going into the tunnel. There was a bit of a car swap. Was there team orders or was it a generous was it a general gesture?
Well, actually, the story about that was that I think it was lap around maybe 14 or 15 that Anarchy's back overtook me at turn 1. And then, then you have this straight up the hill, and then you have turn 3 and 4, if I say it right. And at that point, Anarchy is back and Desi were driving next to each other into that corner. And Desi hit the wall on the inside. So I drove at the back of him and I lost my right front wing from that moment. And I was convinced that I would finish the race with a dark orange right front wing, I think. So at that moment, from that moment on, I was pretty slow, as you could have seen. And I was like, Basabi's behind me. He's so much faster at this point because of his car is still in a good shape. And because we are a team, I would think that he has a better chance of getting a better position out of it. So that's the reason why I let him pass by.
It's really, really fast thinking there because it almost delivered a win for your teammate. He was only half a second off when all was said and done at the end. I did ask Desi earlier, and I'll ask you as well. What's it like driving around Monaco when you've got half your front wing hanging off? Explain to the viewers the difficulty of getting the car turned in and the penalty of losing pace.
Well, actually, the start was also a very difficult thing because with the light rain and still starting on soft, so you really needed to drive slowly. But with losing the right front wing, actually, it made no difference between that and the first part of the race. So it was actually being very conscious when you're turning into fast corners. For example, Tabak, if you know that corner.
Yeah.
So it was just not going to fully send every corner as you take it as you normally do. And it's rather difficult. It's very, very hard to concentrate and to keep your car on the circuit. And that's the most important thing on Monaco when you drive.
Exactly. I always feel Monaco, being a race of attrition, is more about how well you keep your focus than anything. I'm going into next week at Singapore, which is quite similar to Monaco in the fact that it's a street circuit. You've got walls to punish you going wrong, but it is a little bit more open. How do you feel going into Singapore after Monaco? Confidence is up, I guess, or?
Well, actually, this competition was very unpredictable, I can say, because I was not. I didn't expect to start third place as I did in the quali this time. So I don't know. How much my chances are next week in Singapore, to be honest.
Okay. Well, I guess all I can suggest is, get head down, practice. Singapore's one of my personal favourites. I couldn't tell you why, because it doesn't often lead to great racing, but I really enjoy watching the cars go around at night in Singapore. So, head down, practice, and look, that qualifying you put in that lap was brilliant. And if you do another one around Singapore, you'll give yourself every chance to score more good points. So, well played on the fast thinking to let your teammate through, and thanks for joining us, mate. Have a nice evening.
All right, thank you so much. Have a nice evening.
Bye.
Well, I mean, one race to go, Matt.
That's it.
One race to go.
It's shot by, and it will pretty much lead us nicely into pre-season testing, which is coming up very shortly. So this has been lovely to have in the off-season and the break, and I really, really enjoyed that race because I can tell you wouldn't get this in real life, this kind of mayhem. So sim racing, anyone's game, and I say it every week. Borish's game, really, isn't it?
Oh, it definitely is. Well, sorry guys, but unfortunately that's all we got time for. What an absolute stunning view it is over the French Riviera. Beautiful buildings, beautiful yacht, and let's face it, I think I'd say a beautiful race. Thank you guys for joining me. Matt, once again, thank you for joining me, as well as being my co-commentator. You are an absolute legend as per.
Grazie.
Grazie. Wrong
country.
Wrong country.
No!
Don't worry.
Mercy. Oh, no.
We'll get there one day. Thank you very much, guys. One race to go. Let's go out with a bang.